Thank you and good afternoon. This is Sam on for Sam Sports Report. Kansas Jayhawks will play the Cincinnati Bearcats on ESPN at David Booth Stadium, Memorial Stadium, TNT, and Sports Radio 810, and 92.3 Wichita. Kansas is favored by 4.5. Kansas and Cincinnati game prediction for this game. Kansas was opened by 4 with 6.5 favorite before falling to a 3.5 and now a 4.5. Is reality the game should be competitive no matter what. Cincinnati has a dual threat quarterback Brandon Sobey and will be a test for the Jayhawks. This season has been Sorsby's passing yards 860-55, 8 touchdowns, and 1 interception. He's been assessed as 4 touchdowns, 1 on the ground. He presents a challenge similar to Missouri's Bo Pabrilla as it did in Week 2. KU's limited Bo Pabrilla to 6 yards and 9 carries, but he threw for over 300 yards and 2 pair. Sosby, KU has been used freshman quarterback David McComb, studying teams. McComb has a big arm and isn't afraid to use it, much like Sosby. KU's defense has fared well against the team and averaging 92 rushing yards per carry. That said, Kansas will be UC has faced since. That said, this will be the best offense UC's faced since against Nebraska in the opening game season. Expect Jalen Daniels to utilize his legs for the Kansas Jayhawks. Kansas running back Darius Harris listed as doubtful to play this week. Daniel and running back Leishon Williams will be carrying the run game. I expect the game to be competitive throughout. Kansas is more talented squad across the board. For that reason, I believe the Jayhawks will win and cover the spread. A prediction of 31-21. Shares picks Kansas 4.5. A season record for Give Me Kansas 30-20. This is according to the Kansas City Star and ChatGPT. Mizzou has a game they should easily win against University of Massachusetts. An easy game this season. Tigers are favored 44.5 points. Missouri is undefeated now. Importantly, Bo Pabrilla has been really good. And better than expected. Ryan Hardy has been really good. The Heisman Trophy winner could be, as he's running wild. He might not be the Heisman Trophy, but he's looking like it because of the Missouri perception. But Missouri's running under underrated teams. Interior strength that both help both pro running game. This has been a really good run game. Also, defensive lineman is more solid here. Kick between UMass and Missouri. 6:30 ESPN. Missouri's 4-0. UMass is 0-3. Kansas State Wildcats are 1-3. The Wildcats have faced challenges early in the season, whether it's solo victory coming against FCS opponents in their most recent game, suffered a 23-17 loss to Arizona, and also has lost to Navy, ranking 117 nationally. Offense and just converting 31% of their third downs. Definitely they shown resilience, but the offense inconsistencies has been significant. That's the Kansas State defense has shown good play. UCF enters the game undefeated impressively. Victories over North Carolina A&T TNT, averaging 500 point total yards. Their defense has yet to allow 10 points in the game. The Knights are interim head coach Scott Frost following an unexpected passing offensive line coach Sean Clark. Frost's leadership has been pivotal maintaining the team's moments during the game, but Kansas State is favored by 6.5. Moneyline Kansas State 232. UCF plus 90. Give me Kansas State 23-20. Illinois enters the matchup ranked 23rd in the polls and coming off a demoralizing 63-10 loss to Indiana. The Illinois defense has struggled allowing over 600 yards in multiple plays. Injuries have also plugged the secondary, with outstanding out Xavier Scout undergoing surgery and safety Miles Scott ejected during the game. Offensive quarterback Luke immediately has shown flashes but brilliance, but has faced pressure to inconsistent offensive line play. USC is impressing, recording 16 sacks throughout 4 games, tied nation's lead in college football. Their balanced attack and defensive powers opponents. Key matchups: offensive line, defensive line for USC. The line must protect against USC and defense relentless in pressuring quarterbacks. Illinois secondary versus the passing attack of USC, with injuries affecting the secondary of the challenge for the Illini continuing USC's dynamic passing. Illinois' running game versus USC's front. Establishing a ground game could help the Illini control the clock and elevate pressure on the passing attack. Betting odds: USC enters the game favorites by 6.5. Over under 61. Fox Sports. Give me the USC due to the Illini's recent struggles. However, Illinois motivated rebound homecoming could provide them a tough challenge. They can adjustments. Kickoff is at 11. Another quick preview of the LSU Ole Miss game. Ole Miss and LSU meet up tomorrow. Kickoff is at 2:30. In Oxford, Mississippi. Ole Miss is a favorite, about 1.5. Betting line: Ole Miss is edge. ESPN. LSU. ESPN win 26.7%. LSU's struggling. Ole Miss offense quarterback Trenda Chamberlain trying to be the main momentum. How LSU handles the pressure, whether they can control the tempo. My prediction is Ole Miss 30, LSU 24-20. Ole Miss. LSU pulls the upset. Is Penn State. Oregon's Penn State, or offensive deep backfield like Dave Moore or Michael Bennis, supporting by strong offensive line. Defense, the Ducks is fast and talented, but suggested the sacks have lost for losses. Penn State will play the Oregon quarterback Drew Mamala as aims to prove himself in the game big game. Running back duo Nicholas Sigurdsson and Curtin Allen. Defense led by Danny Staten and linebacker Tony Rogers and Maine Campbell, and Penn State's defensive line formidable. Kick is at 6:30. The team overview: Alabama Crimson Tide will play Georgia. Quarterback Ty Simonson, 76.7. SEC offensive linemen, they will show their improvement, consistency. Running back Jamar Miller returns to the backfield. Collaborating backfield. That's for Alabama. Defense has the sun solid, but defensive tackle Tim Green is ill and expected to bolster the front seven. He's expected to return. Georgia Bulldogs offensive. Georgia bullish balance attack defense. While historic, Georgia's particular passing coverage. Roll Bama roll. Home field advantage. The Bulldogs are riding a 33-game winning streak. That's for the Bulldogs. Ending this matchup is kick is at 6:30. ABC. That game is only favored 2 or 3. Georgia over. Georgia home to play Alabama. Final and Seahawks scores Cardinals game last night or on Thursday 23-20. In UVA, Virginia defeated Florida in double overtime 46-38. Virginia improves to 4-1, 2-0 in the ACC. Florida State falls to 3-1 and 0-1 in the ACC. Virginia stuck their early, capitalizing fourth quarter on FSU's build 14-0 lead. Florida State rallied by halftime as they trailed 14-0. Did Florida State in the second half. Teams blows. UVA ground game continued to control the game, become more prominent focus. FSU's focus overtime by scoring a game-tying 30s with 30 seconds in regulation before overtime. In the first overtime, teams traded blows with field goals. In the second overtime, OT, Virginia scored via a Traylon Morris touchdown, then a 2-point conversion. Pass to Terrell Harris. FSU had a chance, a pass into the end zone, but was intercepted. And at the end of the game, and also a bobbled at the time it was called touchdown, but it was in the end called an incomplete. Key moments: Jason Myers kicks a 52-yard field goal at the gun. Seattle had a 26 lead in the fourth quarter with the Cardinals coming back. Kyle Murray to Amari Dimokamo for the touchdown to tie it for a 7-yard touchdown, but the field goal at the end comes in and wins it for the Seahawks. Sam Darnold to Smith and Jagba to move the ball into field goal range, and Myers kicks it through for the win for the Seahawks. That's Thursday Night Football, and that's college football, and that pass. That's Sam on Sports.